What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're here with some NFL DFS picks and lineup advice. FanDuel, DraftKings, single game showdown slate. We're closing out wild card weekend with this Monday night football matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. In this video, we'll talk about low risk and high risk lineup construction tips for tonight's single game slate, injuries that impact the slate, and just general strategies to help get you to the top of those contest leaderboards. Before we get started, a couple of housekeeping notes. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Get notified when we go live, upload any new videos. We recently hit the 3K subscriber mark. We thank you for that. Go check out our channel here on YouTube. We have a 3K subscriber giveaway video. We're closing it tonight at 7 p.m. So after you watch this video, go check that out and enter the giveaway. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. We appreciate that. Any questions you have, comment on this video below or hop in our Discord server to chat with other members of the OccupyFantasy.com community. And the daily plug, OccupyFantasy.com, we had an entire plug for all the weekend's games. We will update that plug for tonight's game, strategies, notes, by 2 p.m. Eastern today. The link is in the description below. It's the same plug you've been used to all weekend long if you're a member at OccupyFantasy.com. All right, so let's jump into it. Cardinals, Rams, third time these teams are meeting this year. And let's start with the injuries. The biggest one is James Conner is expected to return tonight. James Conner played last week. Chase Edmonds did not play in the season finale. Edmonds is expected back this week off the injury report. He's good to go. While Conner last week played most of the game, hurt his ribs late in that matchup and didn't return. Barely practiced this week. Did get a limited session in on Saturday. However, Jay Glazer reported yesterday morning that Conner is expected to suit up. And the thing we have to realize about this is the type of injury that it is. It's not an ankle, shoulder, knee, lower body. It's ribs. And really what it comes down to is, can he tolerate the pain? Is there a chance for further injury? The fact that he's cleared indicates that there's probably not. So he's going to get the padding, going to get the injection. He'll be good to go unless he re-injures it. But we shouldn't expect a limited workload just based on the injury itself. Again, if he had an ankle sprain, maybe he's limited. Shoulder, whatever, hip, something, could be limited. Probably not. So I think we expect the similar workload we see between Conner and Edmonds when both are healthy. So let's expect that tonight. And that's really about it. Van Jefferson officially questionable. He's expected to go. Rondale Moore has missed a ton of games over the second half of the year. He's tentatively expected to return. Let's see here. Listed as questionable. Today's a game time decision. We think he gives it a go in the playoffs. Anybody else here? No. Still the same guys playing tonight that we've seen for the Rams and Cardinals over the last few weeks. So let's go over to low-risk contest. 50-50s, double-ups, head-to-heads. Just got to beat half the field. If you read our Showdown guide, you watch these videos, you know by now we try to get 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, lock up all the scoring. However, tonight's slate, it's pretty much impossible to do that for a variety of reasons. One, we have the Conner and Edmonds issue, right? If Conner is limited, perhaps. I know we said we probably won't be, but maybe he is. It's hard to figure out which one. Now, on DraftKings, there's a big savings between Conner and Edmonds. Conner is 9,400, Edmonds 5K. That's a big difference. So if choosing between the two, probably Edmonds because of the salary savings he allows. But that makes it tough for low-risk contests because Conner's the one generally getting the work in the red zone. On the Los Angeles side, we have Sonny Michel, 7,800, still getting most of the work, but Cam Akers has returned. Do they ramp him up in the playoffs? Hard to see, but they jacked his price up. He's 6,600 now. And if you look last week, only had, 5 carries, 3 targets, so 8 touches, maybe 10 touches as a ceiling at 6,600. That's pretty tough to swallow. He won't be that popular, but he could do enough to mess up Sonny Michel. And then for low-risk contests, we have Cooper Kupp, who is one of the safest players in all of fantasy football, and he's 13K in the flex, 19,500 at the captain spot. So it's really tough. No real way to make a high floor lineup without leaving out some pieces. So the best bet is to avoid low-risk contests tonight, stick to high-risk contests, try to grab some tickets, try to win some small field or maybe some large field contests. If we go over to FanDuel, obviously it's the same sort of setup. You have Cooper Kupp, who's really tough to fade. A little bit easier on FanDuel, but still not very fun to fade him. Kyler Stafford, 15.5 plus. Conner, Edmonds, Michel. We still have the same issues here. Even if you tried to play these top 3 guys, that's 57.50 left per player. Can't really do it. The field's going to have to usually pick 2 of these 3 guys, and the field's likely going to go with this combo. Kyler Murray, rushing floor, and Cooper Kupp. So we're going to see some uncorrelated lineups tonight, even on DraftKings too, which is pretty unusual. when the field has gotten sharper and they're playing correlation, they're pairing receivers with their quarterbacks. That probably won't be the case tonight. We'll see a lot of Cooper Kupp, Kyler Murray lineups just because of Kyler's floor and just the dynamic of these two teams. So, low risk, tough on both sides. Let's talk about high risk contests. Now, this is where the money is made. GPPs, leagues, satellites, any exponential payout contests. So we already talked about the anti-correlation that's going to happen between Kyler and Cooper Kupp. DraftKings is really interesting because if you go back to this video we did a month ago between these two teams, we talked about how both these teams don't really rotate players. Their top receivers are locked in. It's not like some of these other teams that rotate in guys. It's not like the Chiefs where we could have Demarcus Robinson or McCole Hardman or Josh Gordon when he was playing. These types of guys fitting in. It really doesn't happen on the Rams and Cardinals. However, for some reason, I don't know why, the Rams starting receiver Antoine Wesley, let's go find him, he's $1,800 as a starter. Playing time has ticked down a little bit recently, but still going to play half the snaps at least at $1,800. And people are going to jam him in because playing Wesley allows you easily to get Cooper Kupp at captain or in the flex. And the field's going to start this way a lot. It's no secret. Every industry site's going to project Antoine Wesley pretty well for his price. And I think you'll see even some people do this. We've seen this type of player before on slates with little value who have a significant role. They'll probably captain him so they can fit in multiple guys here at the top. Because if you put in the three main players, Kupp and both quarterbacks with Wesley at captain, you get $6,150 left per player. And I think a lot of pros are going to do this in small field contests. Less than 200 players, the high dollar type stuff. So what we have to think about here is what is the field going to do and how do we get different? And it's not as dramatic on FanDuel. In fact, Wesley's priced pretty appropriately over there. He's still $7K. That's reasonable. AJ Green gonna play more snaps. He's only $1K more. Higbee $8,500. Some of these other guys are pretty reasonably priced on FanDuel, so not as much of a problem. But back over on DraftKings, a lot of people are going to start this way. And a lot of people are going to play Edmonds over Connor because of that pricing discrepancy we talked about. So many lineups are going to start the same way. So the two big things you have to think about here is, one, the field is going to play a lot of balanced lineups. A lot of different guys are priced at the top and in the mid-range for both teams. And so probably half of the lineups that you see tonight in your contest are going to be of the split stack variety, 3-3. 3 players from Arizona, 3 players from the Rams. So any lineup that you create that is beyond that, that's a little bit more of an onslaught or a team-heavy lineup, 4-2 Rams, 4-2 Cardinals. Or, I don't think a lot of people will do this, 5-1 Rams, 5-1 Cardinals stacks. Those are going to be different automatically. So that's something to think about first and foremost. 2, you have to think about what you want to do with Antoine Wesley. Because if you play him in any high-risk contest setting, you automatically have to have 2 other low-owned players in your lineup. And where do those low-owned players come from if you're playing Wesley? Well, I think the biggest range, and we'll talk about this in the Daily Plug, and this pretty much always seems to be the case, especially in small field contests, this middle tier range above the kickers and defenses up until the backup quarterbacks, this 4,600 to 6K range, Green, Higbee, Jefferson, Edmonds, Moore, are going to go pretty overlooked. And even these guys here, like Akers and Beckham, are going to go overlooked. You have to play one, probably 2 of these guys, or go with a really low-owned captain in order to get different if you use Antoine Wesley. The easiest approach is to avoid Antoine Wesley. Fingers crossed, pray he doesn't get a touchdown. And just play some other options, a little bit chalkier lineup, because you're going to be different from the field already. Because in small field contests, I guarantee Wesley gets up to 50, 60, 70% ownership. Any other guys down here we can think about? Maybe Skoranek for the Rams, 4th receiver, rotate some. If Van Jefferson is indeed nicked up, Skoranek maybe plays a little more. Dortch has gotten some handoffs. This is a large field contest only. Gotten some design plays here in the last couple of weeks. But after that, dude, it's super thin. I mean, it's real thin down here. So your best bet if you're not playing Wesley is to play kickers, defenses, these middle tier guys, and try to get different that way. So again, just to recap, Antoine Wesley, going to be one of the most popular players on the slate. Let that sink in for a second and just think about how the entire field's going to flock to that. And just think, hey, all I have to do is get different and not play Antoine Wesley, a guy that you, listening to this video, probably have never heard of before a month ago, 2 months ago. So if you think about that in mind, high-risk contests look pretty easy to differentiate tonight. So again, we'll have more thoughts in our daily plug posted at occupyfantasy.com. Again, the whole plug from this past weekend is for the entire wild card matchups, all 6 games. Scroll down to the Showdown section in the daily plug. Again, the link's in the description below. But scroll down to the Showdown section, and the Arizona LA section will be updated by 2 p.m. with notes and lineup ideas. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get notified when we go live, upload any new videos. We appreciate that. It helps you out. Enter our 3K subscriber giveaway. Contest closes at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. The video is on our channel here on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Any questions, comment on the video. Or the best way to get an in-depth answer is to hop in our Discord server and chat with us. So, Brian from Occupy Fantasy, appreciate you listening, and good luck tonight.